appreciate it. Listen, I can't believe it. 2 weeks, officially, summer, finally here. Welcome, summer. And I'm gonna sit down right now because we are talking about what we call our summer selections, things we think you should read, watch, listen. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm already sitting down because I've gotta ground myself, because when I saw our first guest's memoir title pop up, I knew it was gonna be a conversation. The title of the memoir is Life's Too Short, right? We know that. But Darius Rucker, wow, that he picked that title was something. As we know, Darius burst onto the music scene in the early 90s with, who could forget, Hootie and the Blowfish. Their debut album, Cracked Rearview, won 2 Grammys, has sold more than 21 million copies. And get this, I didn't even realize it. That album remains one of the top 10 best-selling albums in history. In history, right? Huge, huge. So I got to know Darius when we co-hosted. He was one of our fill-in celebrity co-hosts back in 2016 when I was at the Today Show. And I have to tell you, I was so struck by his kindness, his warmth. You always wonder if someone is the same on camera as they are behind the scenes. And really, to me, he was just this really cool guy who talked about his family and his love of music. And then I started reading this Life's Too Short memoir, and I thought to myself, wow, the guy I got to know at work, you never know what someone's going through, right? You don't. And in his memoir, he reveals the fight against his own demons. The book comes out just months after a gut-wrenching moment, is what he calls it, when he was arrested for misdemeanor drug possession in Tennessee. In the memoir, Darius reveals the highs and lows of his 39-year career, including his drug use, the end of his nearly 20-year marriage. In the book, he details the ways drugs took a toll on his marriage. He wrote in the book, I wear on Beth. I know I do. I make it hard for her, but I also know that much of what I say roars out of me due to cocaine's aftermath. He opens up about fighting against the odds and even the critics who said he wouldn't be the superstar that he is. In a daytime exclusive, a book I believe you should read because it tells the arc of life. Please welcome Grammy Award winner, Darius Rucker! Congratulations on finishing the memoir. I know how I feel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so do I say congratulations on this memoir, or do I say, how relieved are you?
I'm relieved is what it is. You know, I've been talking about writing it for years, and I said I'd never write it until my kids were old enough to read it. You know, they were adults.
Your youngest is now 19.
19, absolutely. He's 19.
So they're 19, 20.
23 and 29.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So the youngest now is 19, and you decide it's time for me to tell this story.
Yes. Yeah. You know, Harper came to me and talked about it, and it just seemed like the right time. And I started writing. And once I started writing it, I realized it was definitely time to put the.
What was the goal when you started? Because you know they come to you and they say, "Listen, you're a huge star. People would love to read your memoir." What was the goal? Because I know your mom is a big part of your story,
yes.
And you actually dedicated the book to her. In the investment, if you will, that she put into you becoming this star that she didn't get the chance to see.
Oh, absolutely. My goal was just to tell the truth. I said I was going to tell my story and just put it out there. And I always say, if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be sitting there. She was the one who, you know, when you got brothers and sisters, you live in an all-black neighborhood, you put on, you know, Kiss, and your brother's beating you up, and your mom, she'd yell at him and tell him, let that boy listen to whatever he wants to listen to.
Yeah.
And that gave me the strength to think I could do whatever I wanted to do.
Your mother passed away 2 years before your huge success happened.
Yes, 91. Absolutely.
91.
Yes, 91.
And you talk about that impact, you know, because you think about life and you think about the people who are rooting for you, right?
Yes.
This is the person who roots for you from day one.
Yes.
And then you get this huge meteoric success. And you don't have a chance to turn to her and say, Mom, we did it.
Absolutely. Everything big in my life that still happens, she's the first person I think of. You know, because she was just always there for me. She was my biggest cheerleader. It was never, you can't do this, you can't do that. It was like, if you want to do it, go work and do it.
When I met you 2016, as I say, we co-hosted. You're this huge star, everyone, and still are this huge star, but you have this affable energy about you where people would never know that, again, your album is still one of the biggest selling albums in history.
That's crazy to say. Yeah, for me, because deep down inside, I'm still that little kid from Charleston, South Carolina, who was just working hard to get somewhere. And that's why my work ethic is still what it is, because I always feel like I got to work harder than everybody else, especially the avenues I chose. When I chose rock and roll, I had to work harder than everybody else. When I came to country, I had to work a lot harder than everybody else.
Which brings me to the memoir and opening up. I remember the headline in February about the arrest.
Yes.
And I thought, first of all, the timing. Had you completed the memoir before the arrest?
Yeah, I'd finished the book then.
So the book had been finished. You thought, I've laid my soul bare.
Yes.
Life is too short. And now I find myself arrested.
Yes. 57 years old, never seen an inside of a jailhouse in my whole life. And
tell me what happened.
A friend of mine was moving, and he asked me to take some stuff. He couldn't fly with it, and I was going back home, and some cops pulled me over and wanted to search my car, and they searched my car. And the funny thing was, they let me go. And a year later, I got a phone call that there was a warrant for my arrest.
Because they tested what was in the bag?
Yeah, but it was more like my friends at the police department were like, you must have really made somebody mad up here or something. But, I dealt with it. I went and turned myself in. We deal with it, and, you make a mistake, you just own up to it and you deal with it.
Yeah, yeah. Going back to this kid from South Carolina and what you think's going to happen, you talk about like the years of being this star, this music star, and you open up and you said, if I'm honest, and I will be completely honest, Hootie and the Blowfish reigned supreme in two not altogether unrelated areas, selling records and doing drugs.
Yeah, we were out there.
I don't want to belabor the hard part because I know you have a triumphant, beautiful story.
Yes.
I don't know if I would have told this much. That's why I won't write a memoir.
That was...
Because I was like, well, I want to feel, I would have selective amnesia. Right? I mean, why be so, the memoir is you.
Because I said if I was going to write it, I was going to be honest. I was going to tell the truth. And that's the truth. When we were going, it was four brothers, four best friends who got famous. And, the party was out there, and we found it. And I always, we didn't have a problem. We had enough money to get whatever we wanted. We were out there. But the best part of that is when it was over, it was over.
It's over.
It was like one night, one sentence ended it all for me. And it was over.